I kind of wonder what it says about me with the fact that I didn't really get grossed out or react a lot to any of the major ways that people get killed in this movie. I'm so desensitized to everything around me right now. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we're going to be talking about the film Hardcore Henry. I had no idea what to really expect going into this movie. I think I saw one trailer for it. I've been trying to avoid as much of this movie as I possibly could for lack of spoilers and stuff like that. And I found it to be a really fun ride for the most part of this movie. I don't really know how they did Henry. This movie takes place all in first person through the vision of this guy named Henry, and he wakes up, has no memory of what happened to him. He's basically been killed and he's been resurrected. He has his mind, but he has no memory of what's happened to him, so he just kind of has to go with what he's been told and start killing a lot of people. I have to think that they just put kind of like a camera on someone's forehead or just like in front of their eyes or something, and there was an actor actually doing all these scenes, or else they were just really well done CGI, because if it was CGI, I could not tell whatsoever. And so I'm not really sure how they did the effects with Henry, but I thought it was just really well done regardless of how it was done. Pretty quick into the movie, he runs into this guy played by Sharlto Copley named Jimmy, and there's kind of an interesting thing with Jimmy. He keeps popping up even though he keeps getting killed essentially, and you get to kind of eventually see kind of why that's happening, but it's just a really interesting thing. And this guy is a really good actor, and he takes on these really different personalities and personas. Kind of remind me of Live More for My Zombie in a sense, because they're so different, and you see him just like go boom 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 eventually, just with these different personalities and these different characters, and it was a really cool way to do the character, I thought. Now, the main thing people are probably going to be talking about with this movie is the action, and with that, the blood and the gore which comes with it. Because this is a very bloody movie, it's a very gory movie. I'm talking like heads exploding, bodies exploding, gore, guts just going everywhere, people ripping each other's chests open, that type of stuff. So if you cannot handle that, do not go and see this movie, because it is not for you. That being said, I didn't really react that much to like people's heads getting sliced in half or throats getting cut, or just the over-the-top blood and gore that this movie had. I don't know what that says about me, and I'm a little bit concerned. So I thought all of the action scenes were just really well done. They're really fun to watch. It really felt like a video game. I felt like I was watching a live action version of what could have been a very cool, interesting video game story. Because there's a scene towards the beginning where he's just kind of, he doesn't know how to fight yet, and he's trying to escape from these guards, just through a trail of cars, and it felt like a stealth aspect of a video game. The fighting scenes, the car chase scenes, all these things, they had these video game components to them that really felt like you could have been just implanted into there, but this is just a live action version of it. And I think that's what they're going for, because this movie is very much aimed for a gamer audience, I'm pretty sure, and I think it's going to succeed massively well with that core audience. We'll say that the twist at the very end is a little bit predictable. I saw it coming, and I just kind of had the suspicions in my head as I was watching the movie, and so there is that small aspect to it. I don't know if everyone is going to catch it as easily as I did, but I saw it coming pretty easily, just because I've played enough video games of this sort and I've seen enough movies of this type of story. There's also sometimes cuts in first person when they're just walking through an area. I felt like that kind of took me out of the movie a little bit, because I would like to see it just like straight through, kind of just like, oh hey, this is exactly what they're seeing from here to here. And so the cuts every so often, they help to kind of move the story along, and they kind of cut off a few minutes. But I would have probably preferred it a little bit, just to see the suspense being built up and just seeing everything through Henry's eyes. And some of the fight scenes, they can use kind of a shaky cam-esque feel to them at some points, but at the same time, when Henry's just getting like flipped over and he's just moving around a lot, it makes sense that there would be kind of the shaky cam feel, because you're just kind of moving back and forth and stuff, and so it's hard to stay in focus and keep things kind of lined up that way when you're going through first person. So it makes sense for the course of this film. Maybe I would have preferred it to not, but it made sense for what it was. I should talk about the villain. I don't know who plays him, but he has like these psychic powers where he's basically able to just move people aside, kind of like Sylar from Heroes, and kind of like Damien Dark from this season on Arrow. He can just kind of hold people and just move them around as necessary. We don't really know the origins of these powers or why he has them. I would have liked to see a little bit of backstory, just a smidge, for the main villain's character and just see how these powers are a thing. And that would have been kind of a neat thing. But the finale for this film, it was so well done. It's a giant action scene. It felt like a final boss fight essentially, and it was just really a fun thing to watch. I had a ball watching Hardcore Henry. It had its issues, as I mentioned, but I was engaged for the entirety of this film. I found it to be an extremely fun ride, and I found the characters to be very exciting. There's a lot of death throughout this movie too, so be kind of prepared for that. But I found this film to be very, very fun, and I enjoyed it immensely. So I highly recommend going to see this film this weekend if you have the opportunity. Definitely check it out. But those are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like this film as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, fine people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.